broken.
Mm.
Got it. Yeah, we're live streaming.
Oh, there he is. Now he's jumping in.
Oh,
Now we
finally.
got him.
Yay.
Oh, he says he's in the waiting room.
Yay.
In the waiting room 4 minutes too late is what he is. Hey, there he
Hey.
is. He finally made it. Golly.
Yay, look who it is.
You're not gonna believe this, but all my stuff was still set to the time when I was in Mexico. So I was like, oh, okay, I have an hour.
Mexico. Oh, yeah, you're in Mexico. How was that?
Jesus. Yeah, sorry. That's anyway, but now I'm back in the cold. So
How was Mexico? Were you in
Oh.
the resort?
It was terrible. No, I'm just kidding. It was amazing, obviously.
Good.
Yeah, it was nice. We were in Riviera Maya, or Mayan
That's a
Riviera.
great place. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it was nice. Yeah, we met a bunch of. Oh man, I met some people. I got some cool resources I'll share with you guys afterwards, but it'll be good. But yeah, there's these guys who was there. We were talking about NFTs. I don't know if you know much about NFTs. Yeah, I didn't fully understand it. Anyway, these guys were breaking it down and stuff, and then anyway, I rented this big van, and we all went to this nearby city, Playa del Carmen, and we went partying down there. Went to this place called Freshy Fishy, and yeah, it had the most amazing
Freshy
seafood
Fishy.
though. Yeah, and I told the guys, listen, I'm gonna bring out a crew, like 12 people. I'll bring them out, but I want private dance floor and this and that. So he got it all set up for us and everything. So it was nice. We just partied the night away. Yeah, it was fun.
That's great. I'm glad you had a great time.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Private
Yeah, it was
dance
good.
floor?
It was our
Was that
10-year anniversary, so.
Oh,
Is that
nice.
so people couldn't see you dance?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's why I want a private dance floor. Exactly. Yeah.
Like, if I'm going to do this, motherfuckers, you ain't watching.
Yeah, exactly. Well, nowadays with TikTok and shit, you could end up anywhere, right? Oh, man.
No
How
doubt.
about you guys? Good
Are
weekend?
we ready to start?
Let's start. Let's do it.
All right,
I had a great
let's do it.
weekend. It's not even the weekend anymore. It's Monday. It's Tuesday.
This is true. Yeah. Jeez.
3, 2, 1.
Boom.
Hi, welcome to the Pints of Polishing Podcast, the most influential podcast for the car care industry. You can find me. My name is Marshall Hill. Find me on Instagram at HyperCleanMarshall. It's a new site for me. Best way to get in touch, shoot me a text, 918-800-1188. Or if you're like Greg and you like TikToks, find me at Detail Supply App on TikTok or HyperClean Specialist on Facebook. Today, we are excited to get into a fun discussion with Greg and Sean. Sean's back from vacation. Greg is still being a dad, so we're rolling right along. And you can find Greg on most platforms at Masterson's Wax. If you're on TikTok, Masterson's Car Care, or best way to get in touch, shoot him a text direct.
562-335-2053.
Thanks. I forgot to
Yeah.
pick up my phone.
Yeah.
Good. Oh,
You can
good.
find Sean at Orbis X Inc. on Facebook. If you are wanting to shoot a message with him direct, shoot him there on Facebook. Or the best way is, though, shoot him a email, Sean at orbisx.ca. And you said you are back from Mexico. Well, I am on a journey right now through German. Starting a little Oktoberfest journey here on the podcast because Oktoberfest comes to Tulsa tomorrow.
Oh, no way.
Will be the night. So the community pub's going to be a little different tomorrow night. Nick's going to hop on and do a lot of Q&A. I will be enjoying probably some Warsteiner. There's some other Spatten's a good Oktoberfest. There's quite a few different beers that I like at Oktoberfest, and Tulsa has one of the best. It's definitely top 10 in the country. It's actually surprisingly a very good Oktoberfest. I know, Sean, you like dressing up in the little skirts and wearing the overalls.
Every day.
I think I saw some pictures of you doing that down in Mexico.
Yeah.
Sean, what was Mexico like, man? What all did you do?
Man, it was good. It was good. It was part business, part pleasure. 10-year anniversary. So that was the pleasure part. It was a lot of fun. We had a blast. Honestly, it was so good. The weather, it was supposed to rain for half of our trip, but it only rained once for about 4 hours. So we got lucky there.
Nice.
And then, travel was nice. The one thing I like with all the kind of restrictions that are going on in the world is not as many people are traveling, believe it or not. And it kind of makes for a more pleasant experience, especially we went with our kids this time. So that was good. And it was amazing. It was amazing. We didn't do too much sightseeing. This was more just relaxing, stuff like that. So, but we got to meet some really nice people. Hung out with a bunch of people. Did a lot of translating for
Favorite
people.
drink of the week?
Favorite drink? Geez, it's funny. I don't know why, but I was just kind of feeling in a rum mood. I mean, I'm usually a rum guy, and tequila and stuff would probably be the go-to. But no, I was just doing my rum on the rocks when I was there. But we did test out, and I sent you this. So there's local breweries and stuff, distilleries that they have down there, and there were some really nice things at the microbreweries. And I can't remember the name of the one I sent you. The Warrior. There was a name for it though, but
Yeah.
anyway, it was called like the Warrior or something. But they were really nice. Depends on what you're looking for though. Because me, I like darker beers. So if I am going to drink a beer, so like my favorite is Modelo. So I was having a couple Modelos here and there, but just depends. Like we had an all-you-can-eat buffet, so I tried to stick with just a couple shots of liquor. It gets you there, but your belly's not too full. Leaves room for the free food, right?
I feel you. That's what's great about all inclusives. Well, last week, Greg and I definitely missed you, man. But we went back to old. Oh, Greg says no. No, we didn't.
No,
Greg and I went back to Industry Vibes, and we went and looked through some fun stuff that we were seeing in the industry, and that's really a lot of what Greg and I really kind of got started doing as we began recording. So we're going to kind of continue that today a little bit over some posts that I've seen, where it's interesting because Greg and I have talked about this over the past year, is how the market will be continuing to change. Will we see who's going to, as you said, there's plenty of people not traveling. There's plenty of people economic wise, things that are starting to happen. Well, throughout the auto detailing industry, car care world, there's plenty of people going out of business. And we see more and more posts of people, whether, they're either which has been cool. Saw this kid that snagged a van because it was already fully loaded. And, I'm guessing he bought it off of somebody that was going out because he said he got the most unbelievable deal. He couldn't believe that somebody would give him to him for that value, blah, blah, blah. Right. So he was able to grow out of some disparity going on in somebody else's world. Sure. Then there's also the people that are in that despair. One post from a young lady that I really felt for, mom of 2 kids, been detailing for a little over a year, which Greg, we talked about this last year. So many people were getting into the car care world last year that now they're really trying to figure out how to survive a year and a half later, and they're just not able to do it. And so I felt for her. She was picture of just some stuff on the ground, was taking anything she could get for it so that she could help pay her bills. So, there's people that are being able to do well and survive and continue to grow and prosper, while there's some that are crashing and, they're really trying to sell out. So what we want to do in this Industry Vibes is give people in both situations some perspective, some information, here's where we're at and what we see. So, we're going to go over what's going to, physically keep, and mentally. So, all right, Greg, I'm thinking first off, right? In your opinion, if somebody's going out of business, right? They see no future anymore. It's not even that they think that they could get a part-time job to help supplement. They're just out of business, right? So they're leaving, the doors are closing. Like physically, what do you think they have not done, right? What has caused them to go out of business that they physically haven't done?
They say there's only one reason why someone goes out of business or why a company closes. It's because they ran out of money. So they ran out of money, and that's actually the hardest part for a business owner to manage, especially smaller businesses, is cash flow. Am I going to have enough cash flow to keep my business running, to pay my bills, if I'm a mobile detailer, to fill my tank with gas, to purchase products, to pay my insurance, or my guys to work with you? And that's what I've noticed is the biggest failure of any business. They run out of cash flow. But usually it's things that happen before that. And I think that's what you're leading to, Marty. That's what we're talking about with like the mental state is like, do you get burned out?
No, we'll get to mental. Don't go there yet. Okay. All right. So physically things that they haven't done, you're saying they physically just haven't budgeted well enough and they ran out of money.
Yeah, they ran out of money. It really is the running out of money, and that's really what happened with COVID out here in California. That's why so many businesses closed, because their cash flow was nothing. They had no reserves, and they literally would just make money and then all of the money would be depleted in the payroll and the rent or the lease or the overhead. Either one of those three. And boom, the business closed. When COVID happened, no customers. Oh, no customers, can't pay the bills. Boom, business closed. We ran out of money.
Sean,
Yeah,
physically, what do people do or not do, I guess, that causes
Yeah,
them to go out of business?
I think people got comfortable, and I think comfort's a killer, man. Comfort. The minute you get comfortable, I hear it all the time. People that say, oh, I'm happy with the work I have, and I don't need to get more. I don't want to grow and stuff. And really, that's just out of fear. There's no other reason, because at the end of the day, there's no reason why someone wouldn't want to take their business and take it to the next level unless they were scared. So they've gotten comfortable, they're happy with where they are, and they don't want to grow. Because there's only, in my opinion, there's only two states that a business is ever in. It's either depleting, it's decreasing, or it's going up. That's it. There is no, oh, it's staying here, because if it's staying there, no, maybe it's there for a brief period of time, but someone's going to come along and just wipe you out, or an event like this is going to happen, wipe you out. So really, you need to always be out of your comfort zone and chasing cash flow. Absolutely. So I agree 100%. Like our businesses, we have 7 businesses in total. All of them have been expanding during COVID, every single one of them, while our competitors are contracting. Some of it was good decisions. Other parts of it was just us just actually getting more involved and hustling more and focusing on growth. So I think that the minute you get comfortable and you stop focusing on growth, and growth could be in many different ways, but ultimately, especially in this industry, does anybody really want to be, getting down on their hands and knees and scrubbing rims and stuff? Like, let's be honest, like, no, you want to be running the books and managing things, talking to customers, and having someone else take that over. And if you're going to do that, why not have 12 people take that over and get 12 cars an hour if you can? Right?
You're getting ahead of your things that they could be doing. We'll get to that later.
Sorry.
You did kind of skip ahead there, buddy. All
But
right.
yeah,
So
I think comfort. Get out of your comfort zone.
That's good. That's good. I think for me, and this is what's interesting, we're all going to have a similar theory, and that's what's practical about, if you're listening, take then the practicality of 3 people having a very similar but different perspective. Of course, you go out of business if you don't have money. I see a lot of people that don't have the money because they spend it too much on their own selves. There's this theory in business that you create a business to make and sustain your life, which is true, right? But then that lifestyle can many times continue to grow out of bounds versus the projections of where the business will be going based on the amount of time that you're investing into the business, right? Yeah. If you're investing a shitload of time, you're not going to spend it on lavish things in life because you don't need them. You're investing all your time in the business. So the thing is that people say is, well, they always say, this is what's interesting. Invest in your business. Okay, well, what the fuck does that mean? I think that people don't understand what investing into business means. And I think that people have gone out of business because they've invested into the wrong stuff. Maybe it's, I'm buying all these tools. Maybe I'm buying all these things that I think is going to make me money when I should have been investing and listening to what Greg says and taking videos and putting out content, or like Sean, and learning sales and going face to face and talk to somebody. People go out of business because they're not putting enough actual physical effort into it. They just want the money out. Well, keep that money in. And if you don't think that you're good at sales, or you don't think you're good at videos, then go hire somebody to do that, right? That's 100%. Investing into your business is investing into people. With people, you'll grow. So, all right, mentally, Greg, what are people doing or not doing that's making them go out of business?
Mentally, man, you really cannot get burned out. That's like the biggest thing I've noticed when people go out of business is they just get burned out. They're doing the same thing too much. They might be even focused on their business too much, and they're not spreading out their time. With a detailing business, you want to let it produce income, but you don't want to let it take over your life, and you don't want to be just completely sucked into your business. It's going to wear you down. I've noticed that's what also wears business owners down, man. They get burned out, and then once a business owner gets burned out and that candle goes away, the business will disappear very fast. So the business owner has to stay lit up, and maybe we'll have to do things like I tell detailers, you got to take vacations, you got to take time off. you got to enjoy your time. You can't just be working 24/7.
100%. Helps keep that passion alive.
Yeah,
You know,
keep the passion alive, because you might take a couple days off, come back, and you might be in a better mindset to work more than you were 3 days ago, just from
Yeah.
that little bit of time off.
100%. The same reason why they say, you know, when you're working, like myself, I'm at a computer quite a bit throughout the day. You know, I have to get up every hour, 2 hours, stretch my legs a bit, stop looking at the screen, and next thing you know, you find you're solving problems faster, and so on and so forth. It's the same kind of thing, you know.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
buddy, somebody that works with us now, he actually used to work for Kaiser Permanente. He does our computers, and he was telling me that at Kaiser Permanente, because it's a huge corporation, that the
Yeah.
computer would every so often would make you stop working and make
Oh,
you
shit.
stretch, and would stop your work at a certain
And you
time.
can't even, like,
Can't
yeah, it
do
would
what you
prevent
want.
you.
You need to go take a break. You need to walk around. You need to stretch yourself, and then it would continue back on. Pretty weird, man.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome though. But it's same thing with like Google. They have it mandated in their employee contracts. It's something, I think it's like 15 or 20% of your time has to be spent with family. It's
Yeah.
like mandatory. And so even if you're working on a project and it's a tight deadline, your family's invited in and they have a chef cook for them and stuff like that. But that way you can see them because you need certain elements in your life. And I do agree. I think people forget that aspect, is that, you know, you'll go to the dentist, so you'll go to the doctor if your knee hurts, but your brain is one of the biggest and most crucial parts of your entire body. And so if you're not
Correct. Yeah. taking
taking care of that, then you're gonna have some big problems.
Oh,
And on
yeah.
that note, I think a big thing people didn't do beforehand is continue to educate themselves and continue to learn things. You know, I see so many posts where people are, you know, what's the best vacuum to get and stuff like that. Like, honestly, in my opinion, that's a 15-second decision for your business.
Yeah.
That is not like, let me post this in 40 groups, review feedback, and you're making too much decisions on that, and you're going to get mentally fatigued
Yeah.
instead of spending that much time learning things that can actually improve your business. Do you know why most billionaires wear the same clothes?
Because you don't have
Well,
to spend as much time picking them out. You can
Exactly.
focus on other choices throughout the day.
Exactly.
I'm not a billionaire, but that's exactly why I do it too. That's why I was like, yeah, because I can go in my
Yeah.
closet and I got the same fucking clothes.
Yeah,
I think I enjoyed that from going to a school that made us wear uniforms.
it was the same. Went to school with uniforms. Yeah,
I just got used to wearing the same thing over and over, and I didn't ever have to worry about it. It was just
Exactly.
the same thing.
I opened my closet. I'm wearing a pink shirt today. I have a pink, a blue, and a green shirt. Aside from those three, I have 47 black shirts, 13 white shirts. Okay, that's literally my closet, and all my pants black, all of them. I'm not deciding on what, you know, slacks to put on with this or that. I could care less. I don't want to make those kind of decisions. Like it's
So you mentioned problem solving, and I want to say for me, that's what I think, that mentally there's the blockade for people. You know, as I listened to this girl's, you know, read her story of, you know, what she's going through. Trust me, I get it. I mean, I think we all that have started business understand that first year is crucially difficult.
Yes.
Second year doesn't exactly
True.
get amazingly easier anyway. It takes
It's true.
multiple years of back to back of getting through, especially, right? If you're just starting and you don't have all the knowledge that somebody else does later in business, it's going to take you. You're going to struggle. And if you've
100%.
got kids, listen, I get it. I was a father with 2 kids when I started this business, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's tough.
not easy. Yeah, I went to meetings
Really
with my
difficult.
daughter. She was in the bassinet type thing, you know, the little thing you carry with you. She was in that. And I even had one guy once tell me, he said, listen, if you're going to come to a meeting with your kid that's so unprofessional, he says, I don't think we can do business. I didn't get that account, but in the end, that was okay, because who I am is also a family man and this and that. And so those are the people I wanted to work with anyways. But what if I was dependent on that contract to, you know, put food on the table kind of thing, right? It would have been a big problem. But that's where I think you really need to spend more time. Like, I don't have any video game consoles for myself. I don't play video games. I just personally, for me, I don't have the time for that kind of thing, because any hour I spend there, I could be spending an hour learning something else. But my whole thing is I deprive myself of certain joys in life that I may want if I haven't hit certain quotas. And even though, like, we've got 7 companies on the go right now, we're doing well, I still have quotas for myself, because like the show's not over. It must go on. You know what I mean? Like I'm trying to build something, make sure that all my employees' families, they're taken care of. And part of that comes with me doing my job as well. So I've got quotas, they've got quotas, we all have different types of quotas. But if I don't reach certain goals, you better believe I don't get to watch Netflix. I don't get to do these kinds of things. Sacrifice
So,
time.
in order to meet those goals and in order to do things that we all want out of life, right? My deal, I think, vision wise, right? If we don't have enough vision to overcome the struggles, we all have struggles. There's always going to be things that we go through.
Sure.
And the ability, you mentioned problem solving, right? Like, I think that is really where we begin to see who's going to make it, who's going to grow, it's if you have the ability to problem solve your issues. It's not that you won't ever have issues. The three of us,
I guarantee you'll have issues.
Yeah, the three of us will always have issues, right?
Oh,
like,
100%.
Always continue, but the ones that come to the top, the ones that continue to push forward, are those that can take that problem, figure out a solution, maybe multiple solutions, try out different approaches, and figure it the fuck out. Like that's
100%.
what it's going to take on a mental
That's really
state.
what it
And so a lot of us will just need to do, this is something that I used to do, and I've talked about it, Greg. I think this is something that we've said about just positively speaking to yourself, right? Like mentally keeping yourself going that I'm going to figure this out. Okay. It's a big problem, but encouraging your own self that you will figure it the fuck out. And that's a big way of helping yourself mentally do it.
Yeah. Like a lot of the time in the morning, I just listen to straight affirmations, golden affirmations over. And if anybody's never listened to this, you have to go and look what it is. And it's golden affirmations. It just tells you, you are successful. You are beautiful. Your dick is big. Stuff like that. You know, over and over and over again.
Oh, thank God. It's not just me.
And then you'll start thinking it and you'll be like, oh, dude, I got that big dick. That big dick energy is right here. It feels so good. It'll do it.
It's true though. It is. I think it was Bruce Lee actually too. He said something like that. He's like, you have to treat yourself like your water. You know, anything that you put out there in the universe, it absorbs into it. You know, something like that.
Gotta flows.
Yeah, and they actually did a study. I couldn't believe this, but they had these big, I guess, aquariums of water, and people would walk past it every day, and the students would tell one of the aquariums, you know, I love you, I love you, I love you, right? But they froze the water. That's what it was. And so they were saying, I love you and stuff like that. They went to the other one and it was like, swear at it, yell at it, do whatever you need to do. You know, people walk by, you fucking, and they looked, they analyzed
really
the ice.
Dirty?
Yeah. They analyzed the ice crystals, and the ones where people walk by and said, I love you, they all form these like picture perfect, you know, like look like frozen snowflakes. The other one was all jagged and fucking like, but it was the same water. And it was just from, they're not sure exactly what it is, but the energy of it, they've studied this in plants and all kinds of stuff. It's pretty crazy, but
wow.
We are living organisms within the universe, and what you put out there for yourself, even, you know, there's karma for others and do good unto others and blah, blah, blah. But there's also that for yourself as well. Like if you start to get down on yourself, next thing you know, you're in this downward spiral and it's not going to end well, you know? So it's,
yeah. Good words. I like that analogy. That's good. All right. So let's transition a little bit to those of us that have been in community. They've been listening to Greg, listening to Sean,
community,
been listening to everybody. You know, it's, as we say, we began to start saying, because we're seeing, Sean, I think I mentioned to you, and there's multiple other people that have commented back and forth to us is, you know, hey, after a couple of weeks from our episode, you'll probably hear similar information on others. There's multiple brands and other people that are starting to realize that the community has been growing to, well, encourage to help benefit the overall car care industry. And so multiple brands and other people are beginning to copy and mimic. You know, we are influencing now the overall industry, which is fun. And so those that have been in community and been listening and been a part, they're actually sending in a lot of messages of their growth and what they're doing and all the fun stuff that's been exciting to see. So talking to those people, right? Because even though 19 plus years going on 20 years, I still drive underneath a bridge sometimes as I'm going to turn left to go on the highway, and I still see a homeless person, or I still see people that are struggling, and I just go inside of me and go, okay, how do I not do that? Right? So there's still a little bit, even 20 years into it, of going, how do I not fail? So talking through that to some people that are doing well, but how do they not get to 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, and then go out of business, right? How do businesses go out of business all the time? We see it.
True. Yeah.
So, but we're not
50-year-old
a
business crumbles.
Yeah, we're not
closes
a
up
business
shop.
to go out of business. So
Yeah.
physically, Greg, those that are doing well, right, and they're moving forward, they're fulfilling their dreams, everything's going the way they had kind of planned, right? Everything's ticking along. How do they not go out of business? What's a physical thing that they must do to keep from going out of business?
You know, I was actually, that's actually one of the, I do a lot of business consulting for other companies. And when I go, people hire me to go in and assess their business and give them information on what can take them to succeed with their team. The first thing I usually go in and ask, right? The first thing is I ask the owner, how's your business doing? Just like that. And that's the response that I get right there determines the entire consulting session. And if they ever said, it's doing fine, it's coasting along. If they ever say anything around that, like
coasting
along, or it's going steady. If they say anything like that, I already know the business is going downhill. Right off the bat. Because like Sean said, you're either growing or you're going down. And when they say that it's steady along,
coasting. They think it's coasting.
You only coast downhill.
Yeah.
You never coast uphill.
The engine's off and you're about to nosedive.
Yeah. And so you'll be like, yeah, I'm just coasting along. But in reality, you're just on a very big downhill.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's something you got to look at, with a business. What are you doing? Where are you growing? How fast is the business moving? These are things that you need to have. Your business should always be growing. If it wasn't growing, get out of it and sell it.
Yeah, and let somebody else grow it.
So physically, what can they do?
What physically can they do? What
to make it grow?
To not be going backwards. Yeah,
make sales. That's the only way.
The only way is to make sales. Yeah, I know. People try to find other things. They're like, well, I need to do SEO. I need to build a website. I need to hire more people. In reality, it's just, you need to just sell more stuff. You need to 100%. Get the bottom line up to a top line sale. And that's the only way to do it, is to sell more stuff. Get more business. If you're not selling anything, if you're not doing details, why are you in business? Might as well just close shop.
Yeah, I had a guy message me recently, and he was asking me. He said, winter's coming, and his business is slowing down a little bit, which I didn't understand because, to be honest, his climate where he is better than you want to see winter? Come to my shop. I'll show you fucking winter.
I pass.
Exactly. There's no reason my shop should even make money in the winter, but yet we crush it every single season. So he messaged me though, and he said, I'm trying to find ways to cut my costs. And I was like, okay, well, what are your costs abnormally high? Usually in detailing, they shouldn't be that astronomical, you know what I mean? Unless you're getting ripped off somewhere. But so I said, what's your goal per week that you want to make? And he's like, well, ideally I'd like to be doing, $2,000 a week. So I was like, okay, great. And I said, so what are your costs right now on that? He's like, well, it's around $400, and that included him paying one of his workers.
That's
so
good.
I'm like, yeah, I was like, what's the fucking problem? And he's like, well, I would like that to be around 200. I said, well, let me ask you this one question. How long have you been thinking about this? He's like, well, I thought about it for the last couple of weekends. I'm like, holy shit, no, man. You spend 2 minutes on that. You're trying to solve the wrong problem here. If you want to make 2,000 a week, how about let's change that goal if you want to make 10,000 a week? Let's figure out how the fuck to make that happen. And keep your $400 where it is. I don't give a shit. Do that times 5. Who cares? But you're focusing on the wrong thing. So I think mentally we put up these blocks and hurdles sometimes to start, and we're all guilty of it. Even successful business owners, sometimes we go down the wrong path. It's just who realizes they've gone down the wrong road first and is like, oh shit, I turned left when I should have went right. And then you turn around, do your UE, go back and drive as fast as you can down the right road. That's what it separates the ones that are going to succeed from the ones that don't. So sometimes it's just reframing your mind. And my advice to that person was, I said, well, how much do you invest in your education? The answer was 0, which scared me because we live in an age where, okay, if you like reading or you like audiobooks, whatever, just think there's very successful business owners out there, millionaires, sometimes billionaires, putting out information. You can have a conversation with them basically for $20. You can get their book. You know what I mean? If you get even one thing out of there that you can use, Like, holy shit, that's solid gold. Where are you gonna find that for $20? It's crazy. But
Crazy
they'll
thing-
go online and ask some random guy in a chat group and they'll spend 3 hours talking to him. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Go to audible.com.
Well, no, I've actually that's a good thing, that you think about, and I think that people are trying to solve the wrong problems because they're
Mhm.
looking at the wrong goal. Their goal, like,
100%.
for me, I think I would be significantly more successful today if I would have made my goals significantly higher, unreachable, right? Everybody wants to make their goal somewhere that they could reach. And then they're like, okay, I got that goal. Okay, I'll get to the next goal.
Yeah.
Instead of just making the goal outrageously stupid, and you'll get there. Like my
100%.
goal a couple of years back was that I wanted to open a physical location store, and I wanted that store to do $1 million in sales in a year.
Beautiful.
And like literally,
But that could have been 5 million instead.
it should have been
Right.
5 million, yes. And I should have
Yeah.
really actually said, well, I want to have all these 4 stores, and I want all of those stores to do 10 million total. And it should have been something
Yeah.
like that, right? Because then I guarantee
And-
you I would have gotten there. Because
Yeah.
you
And
set
even
the
if you
goal-
fell short, you might have hit 7.
yeah, it's still better than 1, right?
Yes,
And
exactly.
that's the thing, is that the person was looking at a goal like, hey man, I want to be making like 2,000 a week or something. And
Yeah.
his goal should have been, I want to make 2 million a year. And
Yes, exactly.
and his mindset would have changed. I was doing
100%.
consulting for another business, and the business owner was concerned about the credit card fees. That was his main concern. Like, hey,
I
man,
hear that a lot. Yeah, it's
I'm
weird.
hearing that a lot, and I'm like, and,
Yeah.
and I look at him like, why is that even a big deal? And he's
Yeah.
like,
21. Like,
yeah, and what what is it?
It's 2021. Come on.
It's
Like,
2021. What is the big deal? So he's like, oh, well, they're eating up all these fees. Every time somebody swipes a card, I have to pay these fees. I want to try and figure out some way where the customer can just pay the fees. And I told him, no, you shouldn't do that. You should just sell more shit.
Yeah,
Right there. Just sell more
100%.
shit. Yeah. because
100%.
if you're worried about paying taxes, you're not making enough money.
Yeah, that's
And-
true.
All
Yeah.
right, so if we're
Quick fix,
running a
hire an
shop or
accountant.
running a mobile business and we want to
Yeah.
stay going, the physical thing that we must do, we can all 3 agree on again, is we must make more sales. Now, the practicality part out of that is, what if I'm not good at sales?
Ooh.
So invest, right? Reinvest is what we said last, what I said last time.
Yeah.
Reinvest, find a salesman then. What if you
Yeah.
hire a salesman, then you hire somebody to help you with all the details because that salesman is starting to flood your shop, right? Maybe
Mhm.
you're not great at sales and maybe you're better at polishing paint. Cool. Bring people in to help prep the car. Bring people in to help make the appointments. Bring all these other people in. I think for us to continue to grow and as everybody continues to move forward, we're always going to physically have to invest back into people to help the parts of our business that we're not amazing at. But
Yeah.
there's no doubt
100%.
if we
Yeah.
don't have growth options of selling and of bringing in more business, we're kind of stuck in the water. So either you bring somebody in so that you can go sell,
Mhm.
or you bring in somebody that can sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, this is just straight up for any business owner that's listening and says, oh, I don't know how to sell. You, as a business owner, you're running, you need to learn how to sell. And you might not
I agree.
be number 1 sales guy, but you need to know how to sell. And with people who are watching this, if you're running a business, you need to know how everything operates. Because if you're going to hire somebody to do work for you, you need to know that they're doing good work. And if you don't know how sales works, how do you know that they're doing good sales for you? How do you know that they're turning stuff around? It's
Yeah.
good that everybody that's listening to us has to focus on that. The
Mhm.
resources are out there, and a lot of the times they're all free right now, which is crazy.
All right. So
It's true.
on a side note of finding somebody though, real quick, Sean, if you're looking for somebody, how do you look? If we say that we need to bring people in, how do you find people?
Yeah, good question. So some of it we've done through like classified ad sites, just putting stuff out there. We've used agencies as well. Depends on the personnel that we're looking for. Sometimes we do them all and then we just kind of pick and choose. But another good one too is we've poached people from places. I've gone in somewhere to buy something, got really good customer service. The guy was great. And I'm like, how much you make here? Oh, I make $14 an hour. How would you like 18 plus commission? Oh my God, fuck, I'd love that. Tell you what, you start Monday. This is your last weekend here. And that's literally happened. And it works out well. So there's lots of ways to do it. Now, mind you, we've hired some people that ended up being duds, but we're really good at cutting our losses quickly. But the biggest thing you have to realize is you're going to have to cross that bridge at some point, and it is going to be a costly adventure. Some people think, oh, well, come work for me for free for a few days and I'll try you out. You're not going to get high quality people that way most of the time. It's just you're going to have to make some sort of investment, but look at it long term. The money you're going to be able to churn out of that person is going to be huge.
Greg, besides your culture, your amazing personality, and then your amount of TikToks that you put out, how do you find people to come work with you?
That's crazy. That's a very hard question, right? A lot of times other businesses ask me that. How do you find people to work with you? I believe it's an attraction of energy. You need to attract people to work with you at your team. You need to make it valuable for them, and you need to find out what might be valuable for them. Like right now, I'm actually looking for some sales guys. Okay, and I'm actually doing this crazy thing where I want to pay these sales guys, outside sales reps right now, whoever's listening to this, they think they can sell 20% commission. Ever heard of a commission that big? It is unheard of, right? I want some primo sales guys that want to make 20% commission on all their sales. And all they got to do is sit on their ass in their bed and know how to pick up that phone. And they'll just get checks from me, send in the mail, boom, 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 right?
I'm wondering now if you're going to get calls.
We'll see, right?
Hey, here we go.
People can call.
Right.
People can call.
They didn't call to clean the car, so hopefully now they can call. Now there's a
He's
big
going
incentive
to
here.
do training, Sean. This is the way that he's going to get his cars cleaned.
Yes, exactly.
Training is going to be you got to come out and know
Clean
the
the
product.
cars.
So you got to wash the car
there
first.
needs to be no
This is
training
really just
involved.
him getting his car washed is what he's doing.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
really what it is. Good way to find. You figured that out, didn't you?
The thing is that there's no training involved. I want sales guys that already know how to sell, and I want to give them huge commissions, right? And bring that on. But that's because people that sell, for them, it's that instant gratification of commission. I can call, I can sell, I get paid. Call, sell, pay. It's like a great little triangle of money for them, right? But for other people that are on your team, or you need people that are on their team, that's not beneficial for them. They might not care about money. They might care about time. They might care about learning things. They might care about an experience. There's all these different.
Funny you say that. One of the first questions that we'll ask someone, because depending on the position we're hiring for, if we're hiring like a new windshield tech, we're going to ask them questions about windshields. If we're hiring a salesperson, the first thing we ask them is what their expectations are for getting paid. And we word it that way, and we don't mention the word salary or anything like that on purpose, because their response back tells us so much. If they ask, well, what's the base salary? I can tell you right there, that person doesn't have the hunger or the sales skills to make it happen. If they ask, what's the commission amount? That's the first thing they ask. I know that person, they know they're going to make more from their commission than they would from a base salary. So they don't give a shit. They're like, pay me $0 an hour because I'm going to crush it. What's the percentage I'm going to make on each sale?
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. You want those go-getting people, and you have
100%.
You have to reach out and find those people all the time. It's very hard. Hiring is very difficult.
It
You
is.
got to just keep reaching out. And people that are looking at this, with finding team members, you'll find team members that might be with you 5 days. You might find team members that might be with you 5 years. But it's all a journey. And you have to remember that you're on the journey. It's kind of like Forrest Gump. Like all those people just started following Forrest Gump as he's running. And Forrest Gump he wasn't stopping, right?
Yeah.
But all these people were like, I just want to be with you. I see what you're doing. That's actually how you attract team members. You have to just keep doing what you're doing. And you might actually just start attracting people like that.
Yeah, with your energy. You touched on something I like there real quick, just to mention as a side note, is that running a business is difficult and there's so many aspects to it. There is a reason why, like a huge percentage of businesses just plummet and fail. So don't be scared to hire someone and be like, oh, I got to get them to sign all these forms so they don't, steal my magic formula. What you're doing is duplicatable, I guarantee you. And even if you were to patent the exact method, someone's going to find a better way or a different way to do it. Don't worry so much about that. Don't be led by fear. And I was once told by my old mentor, he said, fear is just interest paid on a debt that hasn't even arrived yet. And so when you're scared of something, you're afraid of something that hasn't even happened yet. You know, it's like just chill out, hire someone. Don't worry about too much of the paperwork side of things. They may leave and compete against you, but if you lead with that aspect of it, that's what's going to be in their head. But if you instead lead with, here's the great culture we've built at our company. This is how we value our employees. Sell the value. That's what they're going to see in the company, and they're going to stick around. That's it.
That is a fear. I'm glad you mentioned that. I mean, it is a practical fear there. I mean, it does happen. Sometimes you will bring
Oh, for
people
sure.
in, you will develop them, and they will leave and go start their own business. I mean, it
Happened
does
to us
happen. I mean,
recently, yeah. And
we've
then
had plenty of people coming in and out of our
Yeah.
business that have left to go start. Some
Sure.
of them years ago stole a large majority of a lot of customers and started their mobile detailing business. Like, it does happen, right? So
yeah. Oh,
you just
100%.
have to continue on. It becomes who's better, right? Like,
Yep, exactly.
don't let that be a fear, though, right? Believe in
No,
yourself
exactly,
that
yeah.
you will push forward. For me is that's why I love always talking about going to a staffing agency. Like, I love using staffing agencies because I can always just say, no, this isn't working. And they should have somebody here real quick because they're making money or not making money of whether or not
It's
they
true.
bring me somebody that's on my payroll. So I love using staffing companies. If you find one that you're good with, then you don't have to worry about I said payroll, but you don't actually have to have payroll, taxes. You don't have to have all the insurance that's required on some of the stuff. So I think it's practical for micro small businesses that are detailers. So, all right, last thing, what should we mentally be doing on a regular basis so that we can ensure ourselves to not go out of business? Great.
Stay clear-minded. You got to stay clear-minded. I told you this is you really got to stay focused on what you're doing with your business, and don't let your mind get too distracted with too many other things. A lot of people have a problem with people getting distracted by other businesses. Oh, my competitor's doing this, so I got to change things up and do that. And it makes you not stay focused on what you're doing. If you stay focused on what you're doing, you're gonna have great success. I guarantee it.
That's true.
Sean.
That's a real quick on that note, because I always thought a funny thing was I've heard people say like, oh, someone just opened up a detail shop right beside me, literally right beside me. What should I do? And I'm thinking, you should have been doing something a lot sooner, because you got to think you're scared that they're moving in, but they knew you were already there and they still chose to move in. So they don't even see you as a threat. So
Yeah.
that's how I look at things. I'm like, I don't care who's around me or my shop or whatever. It's irrelevant. So what you need to do is just pretty much what Greg was saying. Make a list and work the fucking list. It's that simple. And your list should always be changing with massive goals, ridiculous goals.
Yeah.
And then think far ahead.
Yeah.
Don't think, what am I going to do for this weekend? Or I've got enough jobs. I'm booked out 2 months. That's if you're booked out 2 months, first off, you're not hiring enough people. Okay. All those jobs, unless it was a customer, he's out of town and coming back in 2 months, you're not hiring enough people. You need more people for sure. Those jobs should be banged out this week, and you should be worried about what you're putting on the docket next week.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that always changing your list, improving yourself, read more, do more, take breaks, exercise. In those instances, do less. But basically always be doing something. Make a list. I revise my to-do list every 4 hours. I know that might sound ridiculous, but it's just what I do, because there's my micro tasks that are constantly changing. But then I also have my big one that I do offline, and it's on my paper. It's my goals for the next 6 months, 12 months, 18, 24, 3 years, 5 years, so on and so forth. And set ridiculous goals. Like I'm shopping for a helicopter right now. And that's not even a joke. I got a quote on a helipad for our second property. And my wife, she laughs, but then she's like, he's going to do it. I just know he's going to do it.
Well, make sure that you get a hold of Greg and his G-Wagon. And
will do. I pulled up, my business partner, he's got one. I pulled up beside his, and I was like, Jesus Christ, when you see them big, like up close, they're actually high. They're really, I don't know, they're massive trucks.
Tall. There's huge tires.
Yeah, I pulled up. I've got a Range Rover Autobio, and it's on 22, so it's a tall truck, right?
Wow.
I pulled up beside his, and I was like, "Fuck, man!" I for a second I looked at my truck. I was like, "Am I in the Evoque? Like what?" And so I asked him, and he said he goes to the mall every Sunday. he lives like an old man. But so he goes and he just like watches people in the mall. He's
Wow.
34, but
People love people watching. I like it too.
yeah, he goes people watching. So he's like, it reminds me I'm human. I was like, okay, fine. So he goes, but he said that he has to park in a different parking spot than in the parking lot that they have there because the roof. He went in one time and he saw a little hair that was hanging from the ceiling and it was touching the top. I was like, geez, you got it. That was like too close. He could have taken the roof of his truck right off. So he didn't pull in. He backed up and now he parked somewhere else. But yeah, so I don't know if it'd be too practical for mobile detailers if they have to go to buildings. But,
Hey,
but good
you know,
ideas.
a lot, hey, that happens a lot, you know, out here in California. That's the same thing. You think a G-Wagon is tall? A lot of people out here have those double tall vans. And they
Oh
cannot
shit!
go-
Yeah,
they cannot, that is significantly taller than a G-Wagon. You can stand up inside.
Jesus.
And
Yeah.
they can't go inside certain areas and things like that. That's
Oh
why I
my-
tell people switch to waterless, man. Just detail with a Prius,
And there you go.
and
See,
you're good to go.
that's true though. That's true.
All right, for me, mentally, I'm going to say, because I'm pretty transparent. When people say, you know, hey, have you ever questioned about, you know, quitting? Have you ever reached that point? I know you mentioned burnout earlier, Greg, right? You know,
Burnout, yeah.
you ever reached that point of just
Mm.
wanting to quit and do something else? And I go,
Yeah.
well, I've gotten to the place where I've thought about it. And then I ask myself the question, what else would you do?
Mm.
And until I can come up with, well, what
A
else would
better
you do?
answer.
I just keep going, right? Like,
That's it. Yeah.
you better love what you do. And so, I mean,
Yeah.
until you figure out that you want to do something else,
Yeah.
then go do something else. Who the fuck cares? Do whatever you want. You
True,
got one
you can
life,
always-
you know.
And you know what the cool thing about that is, Marty? You can always go back. I don't know why people are so scared to like throw in the towel on something. You can always go back. Like you can
Yeah.
be like, you know, fuck. Like, yeah, I think I'm gonna go back and pick this
It's
back
gonna
up.
be
You know?
harder, right?
the-
If you quit and then years
It
later
could.
come back to restart, I think that's probably the scariest because it's so hard, right? If we've been building and growing, we realize how hard those first years were. And so it's just like,
True.
yeah, you know.
But hopefully
I-
you'd be coming back with
hate-
more experience.
I get it, but I would still hate to, right? I mean, there's
Yeah.
there's opportunities that have come across my plate where I go, man, it sounds like a lot of fun, but the amount of work that's going to take to get started, I'm like, I knew what it's like to start a company. I was just like, oh, I just don't want to do that, you know?
There's a
So
lot.
yeah, it's not. So that's why I always look at things, just go, you know, is that something else I'd rather be doing? And until I find that, just keep my head down and keep rolling, you know, enjoy
going.
what you're doing and try and enjoy your day the best that you can make it. So Greg,
That's
thanks for your time. Thanks for your info. Sean, man, always great. Glad to know that you made it back from,
Thanks. Yeah.
you were below us.
Oh.
Now you're up on top of us, you know, so
Yeah. Exactly.
the
Yeah.
top.
maybe one day you'll meet us in the middle.
Exactly. Getting back was a nightmare though. Oh my god. Yeah. We had to do anyway, that's a conversation for
That's another story.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
that
want to
was-
hear about those tests, Sean. We know what happens down there in Mexico. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
Exactly.
guys, have a great week. It's good to see
All
you.
right.
Thank you so much.
Have a great
You
week
too.
next time.
All right.
Right. Oh man.